I'll just carry on. Kia ora, everyone. Andrea McBeth is my name, Area Commander of Hamilton City. I've been in this role for 3 years, 24 years in the police, and what a 3 years it's been. Who would have thought we'd have an international pandemic and I'd have to do stuff like send staff into hotels and quarantine and protests and a whole lot of stuff. So it's been a really full-on 3 years. And I wouldn't change a minute of it. It's really busy, but a real privilege to be in this role. I got 10 minutes. You're not my normal crowd. And if I was to pick this crowd, I'd say if you were to meet me and my staff, it's most likely, I hate to say it, as victims. You're most likely to be victims, or you may be drunk drivers. Please don't be drunk drivers. And sadly, that's probably, if I'm going to read the room, where our paths would cross. And I thought to myself, if I'm to interact with this group, it's really important that we do interact with this group, because police legitimacy and your trust and confidence in us is a real thing. And worldwide, we're seeing a real loss of trust and confidence in policing. And we need to protect how we are with each other, with everything we've got, because if you lose trust and confidence in us, our whole style in policing is going to change, and no one wants it. But I'm not here to talk about that, because I'm really sad from our conversation already. Our fireys are doing it really, really tough. And I thought, what would you like to hear from New Zealand Police, being as though we don't spend a lot of time together, I'm thinking. And you're probably all thinking ram raids, I think, yeah. I'll touch on it, because I don't want to talk about that, but I will, because I know you want to hear about it. But that's actually, if I get 10 minutes with you, I want to talk to you about our people. And actually the people who are serving you in the community, because we are the community and you are us. So I thought I'd start with talking about last week. Last week, a big trolley of food rolls into my office. It's like this big, $1,200 worth of snacks. It had come from the Chinese community, and it had come because two of our staff, some detectives, were dealing with a difficult situation, and when they were dealing with the members of the community, the Chinese community, the staff, their stomachs rumbled, and they said, "Ha-ha, your stomach's rumbled, have you not had lunch?" "No, we haven't had lunch, we're too busy, we're out here to serve, we just don't have time, we'll get round to lunch." And this happened a couple of times, and so the community that we were serving actually really felt for the staff and rallied around, and then a whole trolley of snacks turned up. Please don't do this, because the gratuities register and what I had to navigate with this food is real, because we can't accept things from the public. But the sentiment was there, and it was really powerful for our people. But actually, missing lunch breaks is completely normal for police officers. For those people rolling around in those patrol cars, we have to force them to have a meal break, and that's usually the only break they'll get per shift, or a bathroom break. And that's because of the passion that they have to serve. Yet, what you see in the media around ram raids and youth crime and everything that's going on, you're probably saying, well, where are we? And we're all going to say donut shop. We are not. We are really, really busy. And we're really committed to serve you all in our community. And an example of this, we lost a police officer this morning. He died of a medical condition. It was really sudden. I went to his work group. They were prosecutors in the courtroom, and at 9:15 we just advised them that one of their close colleagues has passed away. At 10 o'clock that whole team were fronting up in the courtroom to do their job for the community. And they wouldn't step down, because that's the sort of people that we have in this organisation. They are incredible, and so if I get 10 minutes I want to talk about them. But you want to know about your environment, so let's bring that into the story as well. So what I thought I'd do to give you a real understanding of policing is actually give you a quick version of 24 hours of policing. So this is real for you. This is Waikato, and this is a 24-hour report. I get one of these every morning at 6 a.m, and it really is the rundown of the big stuff that's gone on in our district in a 24-hour period. So it should be quite interesting for you, I hope. So first of all, this is the big stuff, but everything's really important in terms of serving our community. So on top of what I'm about to just gloss over, there were 37 family harm episodes in this 24-hour period, and it was a Wednesday, so it's not a on-the-piss Friday or stuff like that. This is a Wednesday. So 37 family harm episodes, each one of those requires a really good wraparound response from the police, and we need to get there. And a big challenge for us in our organisation is it is not uncommon for the demand for our services to be outstripped by the supply of our resources that we have available. We are having to make decisions, much like our fire service, on what we have to go to first. And sadly, none of us like to be in the situation, but we are balancing life and property decisions. So I might not get to your burglary because I have to go to the job where a woman's being strangled by her partner. And that is the reality of policing, and none of us like that. But we're really, really busy, and we're seeing this all around the world. And so it's decisions we don't like to make, but we do our best, we're nimble and we're fast. And because of that, when you've got those pressures on you, perhaps you don't want to have a lunch break. We always try and make them have a lunch break, but that's the reality. So let's talk about this Wednesday. Started on a day shift over in Huntly. First of all, staff are going to a job, ambos and fires, a truck has rolled, blocking the road, rubbish everywhere, possible factor is speed. So some staff went to that. We had some dangerous driving up in Hamilton. Staff went to that, the car took off, we didn't pursue it. We weren't allowed. So then we had a youth offender, a really well-known youth offender who had to go to court. He decided he's not going to go to court that day. Oranga Tamariki are having real problems with getting him to court, so along we come and take him to court. But then he smashes up our patrol car, so we're one patrol car short because of that. Then we go on to another job, male walking along the street in Hamilton, gets pushed off his bike and a rifle held to his head. So our detectives go to that one, and we've got that one in hand. Short time later in Te Aomuru, we had a 93-year-old person, someone's loved one, who went missing. So we had to go and do a full search for that person, located by a member of the public. His mobility scooter had a flat battery, so that was good. Returned safely to his wife. Happy story. Back into Hamilton, we had the classic, and this is a real reality for us. This is going on all the time. Hamilton East, informant was following his stolen vehicle. So our police officers got him behind that vehicle. Fortunately, that vehicle blew a tyre because we weren't going to pursue it, and our dog tracked the offender and found him in a drain. That offender was 15 years old. Gets better. And he had run away from where he should have been, and we definitely stopped further offending that night by getting him in custody. Around the same time, we had a group of youths seeing outside some shops in Chartwell, and we caught 2 of them with tools breaking into cars who are definitely going to do something more. So we hopefully have stopped some more offending on that occasion. And we jump into our night shift over in Whirianga, some real serious family harm offending going on there, some young children at risk, and our staff got right involved to separate the parties there and hold the right person to account. Another fleeing driver in Hamilton East, these are happening all the time. Back to Whirianga, the family harm episode. While we separated the parties, they decided to get back together and smash the house up, so we continued on and arrested someone for that. And another fleeing driver, another stolen vehicle speeding around Hamilton. So that's probably not a really busy night for the district, but that sort of paints a picture of what we're dealing with. On a really bad night, that's when we're starting to see the ram raids, the groups of youths in convoys of 3 cars, all stolen, driving into the shops and stealing product. And it's a real challenge for us, which I guess leads into the ram raids, which is a real hot topic at the moment. The reality of the ram raids of the same groups of young people doing the same things. This happened before COVID. It was a real issue, and it has not stopped since COVID. In fact, it's got worse, because what we're seeing now with these young people, and we're talking 12-year-olds right up, what we're seeing is they are disengaged from schools. They are lost youth. We don't know where they are, but we do know that as soon as young people disengage from pro-social services and activities, that's when they're at huge risk of doing things like ram raids, like smash and grabs, and things like social media are really not helping, because whatever's going on in our young people's lives, they don't want to be at home. They want to be filming crime on social media, and somehow that's giving them the recognition that they seek as young people. And the good thing about this, it's not good at all, is that we do get them. We lock them up, because if you're going to go in to show off your crimes, it actually is a really good evidential platform for us. And the awful things that happened in Hamilton over the weekend that I'm sure you're all aware about, the security guard being assaulted seriously at one of our malls, and then the large mob raid, we'll call it, in Te Awa at the base. We know who those people are. We will get them. But the problem is much bigger than that. The problem is not chucking some bollards up to deter people or a fog cannon. The real problem that we need to solve is actually, how do we stop young people from wanting to do this in the first place? Because we're not going to need ugly bollards around our city if we've actually got the behaviours right of our young people in rangatahi, and they're in careers and environments where they're nurtured and they're actually going to be really good contributing members of the community. So that's a huge challenge for us at the moment with policing and the ram raids. But I guess it all links back to our people, and our people are up for it. We are doing everything we can to keep our community safe. We are motivated and we are here to serve. But the challenge is, I guess, in every emergency services organisation at the moment, the demand is really heavy and often outstrips our supply. So there's a lot of decisions that we have to make that we would love to go to everything, but the reality is we just can't get there. So that's our world. Have I spoken for 10 minutes? Yeah. Excellent. Can't wait for the questions.